So my family celebrates Christmas in November. We meet in different locations. It used to always be at my grandmother's house. She moved to a smaller place, so now we meet at Airbnbs. But we we did it at each other's house for a little bit. But there's a lot of us, okay, y'all? That's a really good question.
Do aliens season their food?
Because what's that movie, the Jordan Peele one with the horses?
Django?
No. What? They found a crypt beneath the Egyptian desert by accident. He was like banging on some wall or something and it busted open. And they were like, oh, wow, what can you see? And he was like, wonderful things. Wonderful, wonderful
Hey,
things.
look, what do you mean by that?
No, literally.
What's up, y'all? I'm PJ.
And I'm Les.
And we are...
Two P's in a pod. And P stands for peers, pals, professionals, pretty much whatever you want it to be.
That's right. And so today, this is our first episode. And really, we just wanted to intro it with who we are, what this podcast is about, and essentially what you'll experience on this journey in the P-Pod.
Yeah, so this is really just PJ and I have a lot of interesting, or we think they're interesting conversations, and we wanted to create a space to share those with people. So we'll cover a variety of topics like faith, friendship, careers, industries that we want to learn more about, a whole bevy of things. But we're just two friends who like to have conversations, catch up from time to time, and we wanted to share that with others.
So I think we have to get loose.
Let's do it.
It's the first episode.
I know.
We got to get comfortable.
Yes.
What are you drinking on?
So right now I'm drinking on water, but earlier I had tea because I'm not 100%, but I'm really excited to be here.
But you're here.
I'm here. I'm excited. I feel much better now because I took a Zyrtec, and it turns out those are really wonderful. So I'm drinking on water.
Zyrtec, holla at us.
Right. Sponsorship. Okay. What are you drinking on?
So, you know, when we got here, I'm a cultured guy. Mm. And I'm drinking on as you said,
what is it?
Topo Chico.
Okay, so it's a Topo Chico. And he said what? I don't even know what he said. A topo something?
I was like, let me give them topicos.
A topico. What is a topico? I don't know. But he's drinking a Topo Chico.
Essentially, it is a mineral water, though.
It is. It's a little spicy.
It is. So when I drank it, it felt like a Sprite that was shy.
Yes.
Really.
Not shy. Okay, demure.
Yeah. It's kind of like cranberry juice. You drink cranberry juice, and it feels like it want to be wine, but it's like being brewed.
Okay. Oh, that's fair. I get why you're saying shy now.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's Sprite, but it doesn't have the real flavor. It's just the feeling.
It's the vibe.
Okay.
It's the vibe. It's
Cute.
the vibe.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, all right. So stay hydrated. I'm glad you're feeling better. And you showed up.
I did show up. I wouldn't miss it. I'm excited. I feel much better.
Hard.
Yeah, we have been. I'm excited we're finally here. High fives. Okay, so.
All right.
I'm looking at what you have on today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm loving what I see.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. You as well.
Thank you.
The one thing I do notice is that you're Chi-Town repping.
I am. My hometown, okay?
Right. 312?
No.
Is that the wrong area code?
It is one of the area. So there's multiple area codes.
Okay.
I'm not going to share mine because I still have the same area code and I don't want people to know it who don't know me.
I feel you.
But there's multiple. 312 is one of them. But yeah, that's where I'm from, even though we're not there right now. We're in Dallas, everybody. Where are you from, PJ?
I'm from Fort Myers, Florida. Shout out to the 239.
Okay.
Shout out to the city of Palms.
Yep.
Shout out to everyone on Fowler.
Okay.
Royal Palm Avenue. I'm a rep home always. But I take pride in being from Florida,
That's good.
Because a lot of people be like, as soon as you turn from Florida, they think you're supposed to pull out with a gator, or something like that.
Well, when I hear Florida, I always immediately think those articles where they're like, Florida man, Florida woman does XYZ, and whatever follows is usually a very wild and out-of-pocket thing.
Your outfit. You got the dunks on.
Yes. Okay, for context, everybody, I initially was thinking of wearing different shoes, but Dunks, I think, are a very good go-to. They're comfortable. A lot of people if you wear Pandas, the black and white ones, I feel like people talk about those a lot.
Yeah.
They're not nice shoes, but I don't know. I feel like people think they're played out or they're basic, but Dunks are good shoes. They're comfortable.
But they're classics.
They're classic.
Because look at me, right? On my feet, I brought out the Timbs.
Okay.
It's winter time.
Very East Coast.
It's very East Coast. And that was the thing, too. I was thinking to myself, people are going to be like, he's probably from, up north, the East Coast as well.
Well, you are from the East, just the South. So now that we've caught up a little bit.
Right. Okay.
We're going to hop into something fun. So we are going to transition into What's on Your Mind. And this is a segment of the show where we essentially share the question of the day. Mm-hmm. So it was my turn to choose the question of the day.
Right.
And my question is, if aliens landed tomorrow on the Earth, Should we invite them to a barbecue or keep our distance?
See, the human in me says we should keep them at a distance and learn, like,
Okay.
what are their behaviors. We should have probably the government, the military, like, get engaged and kind of like feel them out if they're a threat to society.
Okay.
But the black person in me says we have to electric slide.
Okay. Yes, we need to bring them in. That okay, low key.
Yes.
My initial thought process, I think, was the same as yours. Because what's that movie, the Jordan Peele one with the horses and the
Django?
no what?
No.
What?
That's Quentin Tarantino.
That's
I'm tripping.
Quentin. No, I'm talking about the. Okay, so little bit of a spoiler alert if you haven't seen it yet. What is the Jordan Peele
With the horses?
and the alien?
Oh, I don't
The
even
newest.
remember.
Have you not seen it?
I probably have not.
It's not even new. It's old. What is it called? What is it called?
I don't know. We'll find out at some point.
We'll put it in. We'll circle back. I'll let you all know. But basically, in the movie, there's an alien. It's eating people, consuming them, and it just made me think. Okay, if there's an alien life form, we need to not approach it. So that's where I went first, and now I'm thinking we need to invite them in, become friends,
Right.
sort of like collaborate, and just become close to them.
What if we're the aliens though?
Okay.
Because think about it, there's another. We don't know everything. There might be a planet. They're looking at us like, man, look at them over here. Their language is wild.
Yes.
They live all across this planet.
Yes.
They're all different colors.
Yes.
They can't even get along with each other, and they might be having cookouts.
I think we are aliens to other aliens, if that makes sense, like to
Facts.
other life forms, but they're coming to our turf.
Facts.
So, like, do we engage with them or not? I think, yes, we do, cautiously. Like, don't try to show them, like, this is our space, you're infringing on it or whatever. But I think we just kind of, like, share gifts, you know? Like, when
Right.
explorers find other people that they've not encountered before, you come bearing gifts, you try to, like, what's it called? Show your best. I don't know.
Right, kind of like build a rapport before actually
Exactly.
like moving forward and establishing a direct relationship.
It's an olive branch.
Right, because I feel like at the end of the day, if aliens were to land here, they came here, one, for a purpose,
Yeah.
whatever their intent is, and two, if they are landing here, I feel like they maybe even sent their best representatives to come to a foreign land and foreign species.
Is it their best representatives or their warlords, though? We don't
See,
know.
I want to give grace.
Okay. Okay. I like the way you're thinking about it. I'm talking myself out of this actually now.
Okay, but think about it. But what about this?
Okay.
The barbecue part, though.
Yes.
Do you think that aliens throw down? Do they have baked
Definitely.
beans?
No.
Do they have mac and cheese?
Maybe an equivalent to that. Maybe.
Like
but like
what?
what do they consume?
That's what we don't know. We need to find out.
Do they eat people or a consciousness?
I kind of want to focus on the barbecue. But if they do eat people,
But I'm saying that could be at the barbecue.
maybe they go to other planets and places and they're like, oh, hey, let's stop at Earth.
Yeah.
Grab a couple, humans real quick
Okay.
for the grill.
Okay, so
Yeah.
if they come to the barbecue, if we invite them to the barbecue,
Yeah.
I think our questions are, do you eat the same food as us or do you eat us? Because if you eat us, we don't want them at the barbecue.
Right.
That's really the only question I have.
I have another one.
Okay.
Do they season? Do they season?
I don't know. That's a good question. That's a really good
Think
question.
about, do aliens season their food?
Wow. Actually, I learned about seasoning food, and the reason there's specific cultures and groups of people. So,
Yeah.
as many of us may know, there are certain groups of people that season more than others.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the reason that these groups season food, if you go back in history and look at when we were foragers, is because a lot of
Yes.
things that we were eating, the seasonings killed certain microorganisms and
Okay.
things that were dangerous to us. And so it's an evolutionary theory that seasoning food does more than just impact the taste.
Yeah.
It's actually making the food more edible for you. Now I think it's probably more for taste, but
And I'm gonna throw something even more on that. I
Okay.
watched a YouTube video, and the reason why some people may season more than others also is
yeah.
during I want to say it might have been in the YouTube video, maybe they said maybe the 1800s and 1900s. No, it has to be 1800s.
Yeah.
Essentially, specific cultures which were more near the coast and warmer, and you could say pretty much in more regions of Africa and Asia, they had the access to those spices, and during the spice trade, they brought them up to more, you can say, less
Non-spicy
non-spicy and less seasoned individuals.
people.
Now, they weren't as accessible to the widespread community. It was
Yeah.
mainly the, I believe, the wealthy communities, like the people, the royals that had access to the spices. They were adding spices to their foods, creating seasoned foods, essentially. But then when it became non-exclusive, it wasn't a fad anymore. It didn't feel like, oh, I can only access it. So then they kind of like restricted access to spices incoming within their countries, which honestly affected then on their population now, where
Yeah.
you can go to those specific countries
Yes.
and be like, this needs some salt, pepper, and some Cajun seasoning,
Some slap
and
your mama.
maybe a slap your mama or a bay leaf.
And we get the bay leaf. Wait, that is actually funny though. I didn't realize it makes sense though because the elite, they want to keep things exclusive, but they would
Exactly.
make seasonings only for themselves. But
Right.
nowadays, I feel like those same groups of people maybe don't season their food as much.
Yeah, and I won't be having it. So
If it's not seasoned, I won't say something. I probably will like just pick at my food or
Yeah.
ask if they have certain seasonings. And if,
Yeah.
try to be polite about it.
yeah, and I'll be polite about it. I think the thing is, when I don't want to eat something that someone made,
Yeah.
I usually be like, oh, I'm not that hungry. Y'all been out with me.
Yes.
I'm gonna eat it.
Yeah.
you know,
Okay. Yep.
but
I feel like we didn't totally answer the question, but I think the question of the day, the point is to just get us thinking, get us chatting. So I love that.
awesome. Great question.
Thank you. I'm interested to hear what other people have to say about that.
Share your thoughts in the comments.
Yeah, let us know. We're excited. Okay. So we are now going into our next segment today, which is story time. We're not always going to have a story time, but today we are. And essentially, we're going to share like different things. Today's a little bit of like a historical context sort of thing mixed with a little bit of folklore. I'm very interested in history. I'm studying anthropology right now. So this is one that I thought was cool and I'd like to share. Many of you may be familiar with King Tut.
Yep.
Because his tomb and mummy went on display. It was on exhibits in a bunch of museums when we were growing up, I think, honestly.
Yeah.
And probably before that. But you may not know about the story of the curse of his tomb. So just some context, he was a pharaoh. He became pharaoh around the age of like 8 or 9. And then he died at the age of like 18 or 19 or something like that.
That's a lot of power at a young age.
Isn't it? Can you imagine, like right now? Well, actually, he would already be dead at the age that we're at right now.
Right.
But imagine you, like maybe like 5 years ago, being at the height of power. You're a pharaoh in Egypt,
Yeah.
one of the most powerful countries in the world at this time.
Yeah.
This was also a time when Egypt and the neighboring kingdom of Nubia, there was a lot of war going on in the land. So just keep that context in mind because they're not totally sure how he died. Before I hop into things, though, I do want to share a couple sources in case you want to dig a little deeper. So I referenced an article called Mummy Mystery King Tut, and it's from National Geographic. And then an article from the Washington Post called King Tut's Tomb was discovered 100 years ago and unleashed a curse by Dave Kindy.
Before you get into that,
Yeah.
sources. We will definitely be citing our sources.
Yes. Okay. We're not just making up information here. We do our due diligence.
And you will be able to find it.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll share the links too if you want to go look at them. Also, ChatGPT is a good source always. But you have to ask ChatGPT for the sources.
Really?
That's a thing because sometimes they just be making stuff up.
You know what's funny before you get into
Yeah.
it? When because it's AI.
Yes.
When they first started bringing AI, I was like, what did Allen Iverson do? I feel like that's what everyone said.
You got to chill.
Okay.
Not
You
Allen
go ahead.
Iverson.
You go ahead. I'm doing too much.
No, it's okay. I like it. Okay, so King Tut, let's go back to him. I
Right.
shared a little bit of background. It's Egypt. Around 1332 BC, at the age of 8 or 9, he becomes king. He dies around the age of 18. Now let's cut to 1922 when when his tomb was discovered. So a British archaeologist named Howard Carter uncovered King Tut's tomb in Egypt in the Valley of Kings, which is in Luxor. And they found a crypt beneath the Egyptian desert by accident. He was like banging on some wall or something and it busted open. And they were like, oh, wow, what can you see? And he was like, wonderful things. Wonderful, wonderful
Hey,
things.
look. What do you mean by that?
No, literally. I was like, what? When I was reading this, but that's what he said, I guess. And context. So if you think about these tombs, it's not just like it's not a coffin. Like these are large spaces,
Right.
big rooms. There's the coffin, there's treasures, like there's multiple rooms in these things. They're not small.
And I'm assuming they have security and everything.
I
set up.
think so. Like, well, wait, who? King Tut or
You know,
like
the tomb where the good things are.
the discovering people?
Yeah.
This wasn't, no one knew about it yet.
Oh,
They just discovered
yeah.
it.
Yeah. Okay, I'm tripping.
There's nothing. This is the middle of the desert and they're just
Oh.
digging.
Okay.
Because they're archaeologists. Then he's like, okay, I'm seeing magnificent things, wonderful things. And then he opens it up in the tomb in one of the rooms. There's a coffin. The coffin opened to reveal another coffin. And inside of the second coffin was a third coffin.
But wait, there's more.
Yes, and this third coffin was made of gold. And so inside was Tut's mummified body, and it's untouched for like 3,000 years, apparently.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Imagine being buried in a gold, because you know there's always a thing that's
Money.
buried in gold, right?
Yes.
Bury me in gold.
Right.
A gold coffin?
Money.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
All right.
He's 18 or 19.
Big king.
Yeah, big king. Big King Tut. So there's the golden coffin, and then other context is like, so the coffin was covered by 4 overlapping box-like shrines.
Mm-hmm.
So lots of money, lots of treasures, all these things. Of course, they damaged the body when they try to take it out.
Of course. It's been there forever.
Yes, but also, why are you trying to remove this mummy from its coffin? This is a
Right.
person, okay? Like, why are you trying to disturb their grave? So there's like oils or something on it, and they they don't destroy it, but they mess it up.
Do you think the oils is to like preserve the body? I'm guessing.
I think so. I assume it was like a part of some ritual as well.
Yeah.
But they were trying to like remove it from the coffin, which is still like bonkers to me.
Right.
And they start like breaking stuff. And so we can't fully determine his cause of death because they ruined it. But initially people suspected he'd been murdered or poisoned or something like that. But with like 3D scanning now, they're able to see that he had a broken leg. And so some people suspect like he fell off a chariot and broke his leg and then died of infection or something. But then this is like a very sidebar thing.
Yeah.
So apparently his father, like the former pharaoh, was the former pharaoh, and his mother was the former pharaoh's sister, which they found from like DNA evidence or something. So they think that like incestual practices might have given him some like genetic deficiencies or something, because he had a club foot, they were able to find out too.
Really?
Yeah, so they're like, maybe he just was like sick and not well because of incest, and then he died at an early age.
Is there any context, or you probably, I'm not sure if you know, in terms of like them caring for him during this time, or
No, like I didn't find anything on that. I can dig some more because it was interesting, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of speculation on how he died and why he died,
Right.
and we don't know because they did whatever they did to the body when they like were pulling it out.
Exactly.
So
And we only know what they've shared. I mean,
exactly, we
yeah.
don't even know if they've shared everything that they actually know.
Right.
So it's all speculation at this point. So cut to the curse. So we're back to 1922. The group associated with his discovery, they were funded by somebody named Lord Carnarvon. And he was one of the financial backers. Basically, so what I'm about to share are a bunch of deaths and like weird misfortunes that came about after they discovered the tomb. And people, a lot of the media like spun it as like, there's a curse, like the Egyptians, ancient Africa, like there's a curse because they're killing us. So the guy who funded it, what did I say his name? Oh, Lord Carnarvon. He was the financial backer of the expedition, and he died shortly after the tomb's opening, reportedly from an infected mosquito bite. So he was around at some point. Like he came to see the tomb once they discovered it, and I guess he got bitten, and then he died from that mosquito bite. Then there was somebody named Arthur Mace. He was a member of Carter. Carter was the archaeologist who discovered it.
Okay.
He was a member of Carter's team, and he died in 1928. So the tomb was discovered in 1929, but they're still associating it with that because they're like, oh, they were around that site for a couple years before they discovered the tomb. So this is also a part of the curse. His death was attributed to various different health issues, so undetermined. Richard Bethel, he's Carter, the archaeologist's secretary. He was found dead in his apartment later that year in 1929 under mysterious circumstances.
Okay. Before you continue more of this, 'cause
Yes.
this is getting morbid.
Yeah. If there's There's a few of these.
If I was a part of the team, I'd be getting all my affairs in order.
Right.
This isn't just like a mystery, y'all.
Like it's connected.
Yeah.
There's multiple deaths and misfortunes.
Yeah.
That all happen around the time that the tomb was discovered.
Yeah. Look, I'm gonna get in the gym. Okay, I'm joining a run club.
This is after you discovered, or after you discover the first person's died?
Okay.
What point are you?
I'm talking about after the person died. Yeah.
Okay, you're like, oh, let me figure this out.
Exactly.
Okay,
exactly. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's more. Okay, so the person who was found like in his apartment under mysterious circumstances, they suspect foul play, but his death was ruled like to natural causes or whatever.
Okay.
But again, they connect this to the curse. George Howard was an associate of Carter, the archaeologist, and he died shortly after the tomb's opening, reportedly due to fever. But the exact cause of his illness remains unclear. And then a number of workers who were on the site also died, but they say this could be due to factors like environmental conditions, mold, lack of medical care, things like that. So, in conclusion, I'm just curious, like, do you think there was actually a curse associated with this? Because we know, like, if you look at historical context of like tombs and ancient sites, like sometimes there are booby traps that are set because they don't want people to discover these treasures and things like that. Or do you think there's like actually some sort of mythical or spiritual reason that these people are dying after discovering the tomb?
I feel like there is a like spiritual element to this.
Okay.
I don't know what the practices were during that time.
Yeah.
Previous to King Tut's life. However, there is an element of the spirits out there in this world.
Right.
And I've never experienced it. I've never encountered it.
Yeah.
Nor I will. However, for the case of like anyone who engaged and disrupted, like the preserved his peace,
the afterlife.
Yes, there might have been something put in place by like whoever were part of his chamber or like
the rituals when they were putting his body to rest.
Yeah, and I don't know what the equivalent is to like a shaman or whatever, but like maybe someone who like in the case of King Tut's death, anyone who disturbs his body will face these results. Yeah, for me also, I think to myself, this will happen when you disturb a black man's sleep.
Okay.
Okay.
There's going to be hell to pay.
Yeah, but go ahead.
I was just gonna say they didn't find anything in the hieroglyphics that said like there's a curse or this is just the media turned it into a thing. And so I was curious. I think there might be some spiritual element. I think also like there was just a lack of medical care and people don't know what they were digging into and like maybe fumes or things like that. This is super sidebar, but when I was looking up whether or not there were traps set, the term booby trap came up, and I was like, what is a booby trap? Because I think we all know that term, but where did it come from?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to share because I was curious.
Okay.
So the term booby trap is thought to derive from the word booby, which historically referred to a foolish or naive person. The idea is that such traps are designed to catch an unsuspecting or gullible person. So a booby is a not smart person.
See, I think I knew the term booby, but the term together with booby trap is new to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there you have it, folks. You know what a booby trap is. You know what happened after King Tut was discovered. And personally, I just think, I'm not going to say they deserved it.
Yeah.
But like, why are you going to somebody else's country and digging up artifacts and bodies and then taking those on display to other countries and making money and not giving it back to the country that you discovered the things in?
That sounds like pretty common and consistent behaviors.
Yeah, it's something we've seen many times throughout history.
Facts.
Anyway.
The last thing I'm going to say on that topic is just because you touched on it, is that I do think that like there maybe could have been just like a medical or health element to it, just because like during that time, I think we've kind of seen it from eras and decades and centuries that health and medical care has gotten progressively better over time.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the data looks like. I don't know what the historical context is of like what medical care or just like what is the average human's health status during that time period. But I feel like that's an element.
That's interesting. I want to look it up.
Thank you so much. That was great.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
I feel informed, educated, and entertained.
Yes. Love.
There we go.
Okay. Cool.
All right. So you know what time it is this year?
It is the time of year that is new.
Yep. It's new. The year is new.
It is
I think
new.
we both tried to say it at the same time.
Yep, in different ways. It's okay. Let's move on. Let's move past that.
Really, I really kind of like want to do a resetting of the new year,
Yeah.
essentially, but also just like what the holidays feel like.
Mm-hmm.
So thinking of like, holiday traditions and also the blues,
Yeah.
the new year resolutions that we all set or goals or things, because not everyone does new year's resolutions. I think even you said you don't, but really just
Yeah.
kind of like objectives, goals.
Yes.
But also what we do, and like it might be helpful to like the viewers and like those who are in the Peapod, which is our community,
Yeah.
to share even with us what you do, and we'll
Mm-hmm.
like use in our own 2025. So
Yeah.
I want to ask you, in terms of holiday traditions, or
Mm-hmm.
if you have the blues,
Yeah.
what has been your experiences? Not even this past year,
Yeah,
but
just
like
in
just in
general.
general, yeah.
So growing up, my family, we've actually had, so we celebrate Christmas. We're Christians, and we
Right.
have two Christmases. So one Christmas is a normal Christmas in December,
Mm-hmm.
and then our first Christmas that we have is in November on Thanksgiving. So my family celebrates Christmas in November, and that's when my mom's side of the family, all her siblings and her parents, we get together. So with all my cousins, aunts, and uncles.
Do you have a tree up?
We do have a tree up.
Okay.
We put a tree up. So we meet in different locations. It used to always be at my grandmother's house. She moved to a smaller place. So now we meet at Airbnbs. But we we did it at each other's house for a little bit. But there's a lot of us, okay, y'all?
Shout out to Airbnb.
Shout out to, okay, sponsorship.
Hey, but go ahead.
Yeah, no, so we rent houses, we put up a tree, we decorate, and we still have Thanksgiving dinner, but we share gifts with each other. We celebrate Christmas together as a family. And so that's like one of the traditions that we have around the holidays.
I love that.
It's fun.
It makes me feel like everyone from both sides is included.
Yes.
And you really get to really experience your family.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's something that like I'm guessing your whole family looks forward to. And there's a lot of planning.
Yeah.
I'm guessing as you become older, you become part of like the project management of it.
Yes, yes. And like, granted, I should be more involved, but
Right.
yeah, they'll like, so in the gift giving, actually my aunt texted me and one of my cousins today, and she was like, "Hey, do you think we can up the gift budget since y'all are grown now?" And my cousin was like, shout out to KK, my cousin. She was like, "Hi, auntie. I think that's cool, but the broke college students, because we have some younger cousins still that are like in college and even younger than that. Like maybe we should have a range,
Yeah.
so it's not like 40 for everybody,
Yeah.
because we're all in different places financially. You
Wait,
know?
do y'all Secret Santa?
No, well, actually, I don't know if it's technically Secret Santa because I be knowing who everybody's getting. I don't know if
Yeah.
I'm supposed to, though. Usually it's like the same age group. So, like the grown folks, like those of us that are 20 something plus, the groups that's like in college and the group that's in high school, like you'll get those people gifts. And then everybody gets gifts for like our grandma and grandpa kind of
Cool,
thing.
that's
But
cool.
yeah, it's super fun. I love it. That's like the main tradition that comes to my head for the holidays. What about y'all?
So it's interesting. So in terms of like holiday season for us, I feel like my family, like they more so. So okay, I'm Christian too, and of course being Haitian, there's another element to it. Haitians have Haitian Christmas. I didn't really grow up having Christmas within my household. It just really wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
But I think Thanksgiving is like the big holiday in our house. That's when everybody comes over and we all pop over each other's houses because everyone kind of lives in the same area. So essentially, like it's not really like I'd say we have traditions for Christmas per se, or like just the holiday season. But like I think as I got older, my parents started to kind of like give gifts, but there's no trees going up, whatever. But and we all give gifts to them as well,
Yeah.
and we all get together like around that time. So it's kind of like there's a
Okay.
Christmas vibe and energy, but not really like an aura.
Yeah.
Because when I was younger, I used to get really bad like holiday blues. Like when the season would come
Yeah.
over, like I'd be like, oh, it's Christmas season again.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to participate or do it. But what it makes me realize is that like I want to change the narrative with my family.
I love
and with my
that.
generation, because I want to be the household that everyone comes over. There's a tree over,
Yes.
matching pajamas.
Yeah.
We're doing the theme.
The whole deal.
Chocolate, milk, not milk, not hot chocolate.
Chocolate milk. Eggnog?
Chocolate. Oh, eggnog. Oh, and we got this Haitian eggnog drink. It's kind of like coquito, but it's not. It's our own thing called cremas.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Yeah,
Okay. I don't like eggnog, but I do think I like cremas.
cremas.
Cremas?
Cremas. Yeah, you rolled the R way too much the first time.
I sounded a little Espanol. Okay. But
Okay.
I want to try some.
Yeah, for sure. I got you.
Okay,
I got
cool.
You. I got you. But
Wait, I want to hear more. So, holiday blues, I think, is something that's very relatable for a lot
Right.
of people, especially when you're not near your family, you don't have a good relationship with your family, or whatever the case may be. Like,
Right.
that could be tough for people, especially at our age, I feel like, because a lot of
Yeah.
us move far from where our family is. Are there
Yeah.
things that you've done to help kind of cope or work through that?
Yeah, so usually you can start to feel like to come because right after Black Friday happens, the Christmas lights go up.
Yeah.
Everything's, Christmas trees. People are talking about their travel plans with their families. Really, what I do for myself, because I've had that happen, like when I like before I moved out to Dallas when I was in California. So I lived in,
Hmm.
of course, when I lived in LA,
Yeah.
and I think really what it is about is also being around other people. If you, for those who do have community,
That's good. I like that. Yeah.
yeah,
It's definitely something I felt that it's not about holidays, but one birthday that I spent by myself when I moved out to Seattle.
yeah,
I didn't do anything for my birthday and I was by myself and it was kind of sad, like
yeah,
similar vibes. So I think like if you can find community, that's a good advice.
yeah,
That's good advice to like spend time with them.
yeah. But I would say we do want to touch on the new year.
Yes, New Year.
So the new year. So I would say, what energy do you give to the new year, and what do you do? It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
too in depth. I know because you're as strategic as I am.
Yeah.
Just give us some quick hits. What does it look like
Yeah.
for you?
So I actually like to start before New Year's Day. So
Okay.
like in December, I reflect on what I did the past year and then I think about what I want to achieve in the next year. And I just make a list,
Hmm.
like very simple. These are the things I want to achieve next year. And I try to look at that throughout that following year. But that's the primary thing I think I do. I try to come in with a very positive
Optimistic.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Like the new year, it just brings so much opportunity, I feel like. And it's a reset. It's not really a reset because like life goes on, but it's a point in time when I think a lot of us take stock of what we've achieved and what we want to do.
Right, right. And I think I feel like kind of like myself, you have like pinpointed goals because like for
Hmm.
me, I create like so it's like a web. At the middle it says the year, and then I
Oh,
have a web that says spiritual, mental, physical,
yeah, yeah.
financial, material because I do want stuff.
Okay.
Okay, you feel me? And just other little subsectors of things, and then I write out what things do I want from that. So,
I
for
love that.
example, like if it might be financial, it me like save this projected amount this year.
Hmm.
If it's material, purchase maybe like sneakers every 2 weeks,
Hmm.
whatever. If it's spiritual, like for example, in 2024, my spiritual goal was to get baptized again.
Yeah.
And really rededicate and proclaim like my life for God. So
Yes.
like that's essentially how I see it. Because I remember, and I'll just quickly touch on this. I started that in 2021, and in 2022, I looked back and realized it. I need to keep doing it because I reached all my like. This was when I was still in grad school. I
Hmm.
reached all my academic, professional, like financial goals, but like my mental and spiritual were the ones that suffered.
Yeah.
And it made me realize I need to step up in this area. That's
Yeah.
why last year I have a consistent therapist, and it's been going well. Shout out to
Yeah.
Black Men's Mental Health. So
Yay.
yeah, like that's how the way I see it. And yeah, so if you have any ideas, if you have anything in mind, please feel free to share. Is there anything else you want to share about this?
No, I mean I do the same thing, but not the web. So I might incorporate that idea. I
Okay.
create just like different sections, like you talked about,
Yeah.
spiritual, financial, career,
You like
whatever.
track them?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I actually made a Google sheet, but I
That's
stopped using
that's
that.
cool.
I like writing on paper though.
Mm.
I feel like when I write things down, I'm more likely to do them.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that, but I like the idea of having a web so you can
Hmm.
see how interconnected everything is.
Visualize your life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you do vision boards?
I want to get more into them. We should
Okay.
do one.
We
And we
should.
should maybe if you want it maybe one I know some people are personal, some people are private. If
Yeah.
there's maybe a public one we want to share with everyone in the
Yeah,
P
we could
pod.
do like a public version
Yeah, okay. All
and
right.
then a
That's a
private
plan.
version.
All right.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Awesome.
So much coming in the new year. I'm looking forward to the new year
Same.
and what's to come. Yay. Happy 2025.
Amen. Shout out to 2025.
All right, what's next?
We're coming to a close.
Oh,
First
that went so
episode.
quickly.
How did it feel for you?
Honestly, it felt good. Y'all, you don't even know. There is a lot of things that PJ and I have gone through, like literally between 2 days ago to today. It has been like,
Going in.
yes.
Going in.
So we are just happy to be here.
Yes.
I feel really good about it. We were able to by the grace of God, things turned around.
Yes. And honestly, I couldn't have asked for a better podcast partner.
Oh,
It.
that's
Like
so sweet.
we work so efficiently with each other. Like it really
Yeah.
feels like work and fun at the same time.
It does. And like we want to be intentional about like maintaining our friendship in like as we're doing this. And the whole reason we wanted to do it was just to share something that we do as friends with others and hopefully help other people build community as well. So I feel good about it.
I feel great.
I'm excited for what's to come. And what a good time to start in the new year.
Yes.
Starting our podcast.
And we're hitting the ground running.
Yes.
So I know you want to ask the folks, what are we listening to?
Yes. What are we listening to? Because music is like, I think it's a part of both of our lives, like a very significant part. Actually, one of our first one-on-one hangouts was a concert.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That was like one of the first times we hung out one-on-one. Who did we see?
Primo Rice.
Primo
Shout
Rice.
out Primo Rice.
Shout out. We had a lot of shout outs this episode.
We did. He's a DMV legend.
Yeah.
Y'all might remember he was on Vine like years ago.
Oh.
Like when Black Vine was popping in like 2014, 2015.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I used to watch his videos all the time. But like I got into his music, I want to say maybe 2018. And what I like about his vibe, and because I'll give my song.
Yeah.
Is that he's in the realm of a lot of music I like Larry June.
Oh yeah, you've talked about him a couple
Larry
times.
June, Currency, Dom Kennedy. That's not who I listen to, but like they put me in that mode of like it's like a new era of luxury rap, like Diced Pineapples by Rick Ross in the new age.
Okay,
you know?
yeah, I like that song. I like
so
that.
So I get in the car and what I'm listening to this week is like it's like an old one, but it came out last year, which was Imported Couches by Larry June.
Oh
man, that song it puts you in like a zone.
I have to listen to that. I'm gonna add it.
Do that, and I love because in the chorus he's like, I know God got a nigga back. You gotta pray for me. I'm like, oh yeah.
I like that.
God got me. I know it.
Okay, and you listen to good music, so I am going to listen to that. You said, repeat the name one more time.
Imported Couches.
Imported Couches, okay. And I do like Primo Rice, too.
Name.
You put me on, because after that concert, I was like, oh, I like some of these songs.
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to listen. I was between two songs, but I think the one that I'm listening to right now is Wharf Talk by Tyler, the Creator.
Wharf Talk.
Yeah, featuring A$AP Rocky.
Okay.
It's like a little vibey. To be honest, I don't listen to Tyler, the Creator that much.
Really?
No, not that. My sister really likes him, but I don't know. I think his skits are so funny.
Yeah.
Like, I like that whole group, Frank Ocean, The Internet, all of them. But I don't listen to Tyler, the Creator that much. But you should definitely listen to Wharf Talk.
I will.
I like that song.
I will.
It's the song of the century. Well, it's a good song. I'm not saying the song of the century.
I like them together. They're like really great talents, and you could see their friendship through their music.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
And like for those of you who watch them on YouTube or Cartoon Network or whatever, like I wish they were. They're not on Cartoon Network anymore. That's not a thing.
Cartoon Network is gone. What?
Hey yo, it's about that time.
Okay,
let's close out.
All right, y'all. Thank you for joining us today. Two Peas in a Pod.
Yeah.
Did we introed the name? I don't know. My train of thought. First episode, but
yes.
Two Peas in the Pod. Follow us on all socials: Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. It's 2Ps_1 podcast. So TWOPS_ONEPODCAST 2Ps_1 podcast. Listen to us on audio and visual platforms. 2Ps in a Pod. That's Apple, Spotify, and also YouTube. And definitely DM us your thoughts. Let us know what you want us to talk about next. We drop every Wednesday, every 2 weeks. So see us bi-weekly on Wednesday. We'll drop. And looking forward to seeing more of what we can bring.
Yeah.
First episode.
Yeah, that was great. I love this. Thanks, y'all, for listening.
All righty.
Catch you next time.
Indeed.